soldier, remote viewer who found Osama bin Laden and his old squadron from SEAL Team 6, went in and took him out in Pakistan. And my goodness, Mike, it's so great to have you back. It's such an honor. I appreciate your friendship, your love, support, and your leadership and everything you have done to serve humanity over the last. So great.
These are fantastic shows. I love these. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. And it's a freaking amazing time too. And from my perspective, because this ascension we've been talking about for years, the shift in higher consciousness and then the split in the timelines, for people, it's all here. When they're like, Brad, Reiki master, all these times, that might be bullshit, BS, right? Or remote viewer, Mike, that might be bullshit, BS. And now all of a sudden, wait, remote viewing, 1970s. Yeah, here's CIA. Yeah, that's right. And as everybody may remember, if you don't, that's how Michael and I met. I took a remote viewing training from him and got to meet him and his incredible wife, Tracy Jo Jaco. And since then, we've done incredible things. And he is the leader of our team for LifeWave X39 patches, which we'll talk about, which were originally developed. These little guys right here for the Navy SEAL teams. He knew guys in when he was at CIA who were wearing it. And there's a really cool culmination here for everybody on these shows, these keys of creation, because number one, what we're talking about with this Star Trek technology I've been calling for 2.5 years now is actually 100% embedded with the storylines we're discussing about super soldiers, angelics, the space program, remote viewing, and then even past lives that we covered in depth on our last program, Mike. So I think it's freaking amazing. I'll turn it over to you, good sir.
Yeah, these shows are really pushing the envelope, and I think people are appreciating that. They don't really get it too many other places. So yeah, we were talking earlier about the 1-inch punch, Bruce Lee. Oh, yeah. So he was famous for being just a 1 inch away, boom, and sending somebody flying. Right. I started the hand-to-hand program for Navy SEAL teams, and we brought in a lot the top people, the kind of Gracie brothers, lots of different people. And they taught us, and then we took that information and we rolled it into our program. So we really went to another level, consciousness wise. So in another level of consciousness, and there's brainwave states, alpha, beta, theta, delta. So we would get guys to go into an alpha brainwave state and even deeper to fight. So normally you're like, in a meditation or sleeping or something like that, but you're fighting in these states of consciousness. And that brings on creativity and abilities that you will not have any other place. So most martial arts will teach you rote, practices. And we got to a place where we were doing 30 that you will not have any other place. So most martial arts will teach you rote, practices. And we got to a place where we were doing 30 days straight, 12-hour days every day. And it takes 21 days straight to create a habit. But we were ingraining these guys with an offense straight to create a habit. But we were ingraining these guys with an offensive mindset that was just way over anything ever. Guys were coming to us. They were like, you guys are like next level. And these are like the experts. And it was really cool. They wanted to come and teach us. And we were happy to have their information, of course. But, because of our pushing into these levels of consciousness, we're able to like fight a whole room of people. And there's a technique that you can do that you use. We taught that. And then we taught, ways to take people out, throat chops, neck breaks, and all kind of crazy stuff. And we would just move around the room and just take people out. And as they, we take them out, they knew that, oh, you would have broken my neck. So they fall and they give it a few seconds and they get up and fight again. So you would fight for 3 minutes. And you fight a room full of people, 20, 30 people, depending on the class size. And you had to be in that level of consciousness. So if guys are in that beta brainwave state where you're like process information, okay, I do this, I do that, boom, taken out right away. But if they learn how to shift in that level of consciousness, our level of consciousness, the wide angle vision, the deep breathing, and then the moving, hitting and moving, hit and move, hit, move, hit, move, hit, move. You don't stay in one spot for any move. All right, you move, you hit, you're moving. So it became impossible to stop somebody once they're in that frame of mind, that consciousness. And I could see the guys that when they went into that state, I was like, he got it, he's got it, he's in it. And they were just like, just run through the room for 3 minutes. And 3 minutes is a long time. So in 3 minutes, you're probably going to fight 300 people because the guys die, they get back up. So it was amazing, absolutely incredible.
Holy cow!
Yeah, so we looked at the 1-inch punch, and my instructor staff, we're practicing it. So it's a internal type of movement, Aiki, Aikido, Jiu-Jitsu type movements, where everything is internal, moving internal, and then it pops. So that's what Bruce Lee did. And so we were like, well, let's take it next level. Let's just put the fist right there. We do all the internal work, and boom. So the mental concentration is the fist goes through the body. So you're focusing your fist on the other side of the body. So you're like, boom, it goes through, and that person goes flying. No inch punch. So I mean, we're all doing it, and we're teaching guys how to do it. And Fibonacci sequence. Start to look at the way the body is. Like Fibonacci sequence is you take the first joint. I'll do this. The first joint, the second joint equals the third joint. So those two joints equals that joint, which equals the wrist. You take the whole wrist, it equals that, and then on and on and on. So if I would show guys, I will control you with your little finger. So I'd have the biggest guy in the class come up. I'm a big guy too, but the biggest guy in the class, and I would start to hit the joint, and I would take the joint and I would manipulate it so that it would go to the next joint, the next joint, the next, and tighten the next joint until I got the spine. The spine is what I wanted. Once I get your spine, I own you. So I would take guys with their little finger and I put them on the ground. So it was we learned amazing things. I could go deep into this. The consciousness thing was the most amazing thing that I learned. I was an expert shot my whole career to SEAL teams. Once I started into this deeper level of consciousness that I was fighting in, everything else in my repertoire went next level. My shooting went to like way beyond expert, almost perfection, and jumping out of aircraft with diving, the CQB that we would do, everything was next level. And it was tough. It was tough teaching guys, because you get a bunch of alpha males like, that's bullshit. You can't beat my ass. And, then I would show them. And then they're like, okay, teach me. So, it was a lot of fun. And we took the training to another level. So the first SEAL hand-to-hand program, consciousness was exceptionally important. You couldn't just beat people up, I could teach you how to do a throat chop and it'd be very effective, but I can also teach you how to hit somebody in the throat, incapacitate them or kill them. I could teach you how to take somebody and incapacitate them, control them, or break them multiple places so that they can't move anymore. So I can take people and, like I said, with a little pinky, put them on the ground, control them with a pinky, or I can, multiple strike them very quickly and incapacitate them or kill them. So, all these things were amazing. It took consciousness to a new level. And then, of course, once I started with other things, I was on another level. So everything that I did from that point on was next level.
You know, one thing that occurs to me in the few times in our life, I think everybody has had this sense, which we all have them, but whether it's slowing time down. You know, for me, sometimes it happened to be, you know, flipping my truck when I was in high school a couple times, or, you know, getting hit on a motorcycle. But you also have that flow state. And it feels like this is the type of flow state that you can actually choose to get into and practice it like a muscle. You're building it up so that you can get into it. So rather than getting into fear or getting in a heightened state of anxiety in a life or death situation, this happens. And that, to me, is that alpha state, that alpha flow consciousness. You're tapping into the universal consciousness.
Yeah.
And when we look at activating 12 strands of DNA, right? Science doesn't say there's 12 strands of DNA, everybody. Science says there's 2 strands of DNA. It's the beautiful double helix that we have all seen. But we know that with somatic sound, frequency, whatnot, something beautiful like this, we know that whether it's our God molecule, which is actually a stem cell and it's created, that it's multidimensional, because we are multidimensional beings. Our souls, our spirit is here in a physical body and part of a physical body having this experience. And we know about quantum entanglement. We know about cells, whether it's an MIT in Boston, and then you have a guy, and this is an actual study in London, where they took his spit in a petri dish and then they subjected him to certain things in London, flew to London, UK, subjected him, and they were able to actually track immediately, non-local communication, the changes in his spit and then also in his blood for what was being affected upon him in London. So we have this conscious reality and then the capability to tap into the quantum fields, which I believe the alpha state is a quantum field. You look at like Bruce Lee, 2 years ago, I posted a video of him and he had a pair of nunchucks, one in each hand, and he was playing ping pong against 2 Japanese ping pong masters with nunchucks, and he was beating them, and the nunchucks were in a blur. And this is analog, like 1970s, right? And he's going after these ping pong balls, and it went on for 5 minutes, and it did not fail. And that's what I believe, you know, you're discussing, what you're able to tap into that field and that's a level of mastery many people have not reached on this planet. I haven't got there as well yet myself, but it's attainable because it's all within us. I feel that's 100% true because that's where we're from. How about you, Michael?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, after that point, I was able to you know, do amazing things. I could draw a knife and, you know, stab into an ocular cavity, simulated ocular cavity, obviously, and do it in 0.3 seconds from the draw into the ocular cavity. So I could do that, you know, 3 times within less than a second. So take out 3 people, and and that's with a knife. So very silent weapon, more silent than a silenced weapon. There's the only thing that you hear is like when I do that, and it's so fast, you hear the whisper of the knife. You can hear that because it's you know, moving through space and time so fast. So yeah, there are definitely you know, levels of consciousness that you can move into and create incredible things. Mm-hmm. So, you know, that's the warrior side, but on another level, there's the healing side, and of course, you know, that's why I'm very attracted to the patches as you are, because you're into the same you know, mindset. So the patches are basically a consciousness. I see them as literally consciousness, and my consciousness connects with them through light and information, and they're able to, you know, take my body to, you know, different levels, you know. Yep. So that's one of the things I love about the, you know, this, you know, new information field that we're starting to move into. We're starting to understand the things that we have been doing. Like, I've been doing these things for a long time, and now I'm starting to understand them a little bit better. There was a lot of science that was involved in my stuff. I can move energy. I can affect people's their environment, their energy, just with my thoughts. I can build them up, or I can, make them weak and vulnerable. I did that, like, we've talked about before with Osama bin Laden. I sent him love, which I did. I practiced this and had success with this on 5 different people before that, and all of them disappeared from conscious existence because I was sending them a positive level, and they were negatively, hinged, influenced. So that basically took them out of their, I guess, comfort, or their, where they were more secure, where they're more powerful in that negative vibrational frequency. And I'm surrounding it with a very positive love frequency, remote influencing them. And it wasn't long before they were all gone. So amazing. Now, did I come in and make them disappear or blow them up or something like that? No, I just took away their ability to, be powerful in a negative field that protected them and made them powerful to do negative things. Mm-hmm. So by surrounding them with the positive, it basically took away that frequency, like we're talking about, and it made them vulnerable. And then eventually, with Osama bin Laden, my old team, SEAL Team 6 Red Squadron, the exact team that I used to be in. What are the odds that, out of 4, I think there's 5 different teams, maybe at that time, squadrons, that would be the squadron that would do it. I could tell you the reason why, because they were the best, but because I was there. Yeah, right. But we did. I was with a lot of guys that we always pushed into, more and more and more high-tech stuff. We were doing the silence weapons before everybody else. We were doing the lasers before everybody else, the night vision before everybody else. And we perfected it very early on. So it doesn't surprise me that Red Squadron was chosen. And it could have been they were just up for that, because you go through cycles. One squadron comes up on deployment, and another one goes on training, and who knows, maybe it was just a cycle. I don't know, or maybe they were chosen. So whatever the case, that just happened to be my old squadron that actually came in and do it. And I was working on Osama bin Laden for about a year.
Yep. They just didn't give you your part in Zero Dark 30. I guess the guys in the CIA back then didn't want to acknowledge the power, right? And why would they? From a standpoint where you can actually use remote viewing to go out and find someone, rather than, Ring cameras and everything that was Amazon Web Services. Jeff Bezos's dad was the head of DARPA back in the day, right? And all those kind of things. LifeLog became Facebook, closed down the exact same day that Facebook opened. All these kind of things they didn't really want to put out there. And I believe that's a reason why, just to touch on this briefly in a moment for all of you folks, right? We're talking about overall LifeWave, the X39, the Celergize that won Stem Cell Innovation of the Year, 100% natural, because Michael's wearing the shirt, Be the Light. I'm wearing a shirt. LifeWave got Be the Light here too, Team Jaco. And we're talking about the light, right? We're talking about love and the vibration and the frequency and the harmony, pretty much on the scale of enlightenment to a level that, Buddha was going for, right, to attain, but very Christ-like and Christed consciousness. And you have that ability to tap into the quantum consciousness, the quantum field. And we can manipulate it, we can talk about it, we can go through it. And what's also neat too, all of you saw in the trailer, is the fact that the acknowledgments are coming out about the UFOs, the UAPs, and the long known, we're all called conspiracy theorists about this, etc., and people try to bring it out, and the technologies like free energy, etc., that are coming out via executive order from the White House. And here we have the man who has served as a super soldier in the secret space program as well. And Mike, one of the things that I ran across an episode, it was called Stargate, like back in the 1990s. You remember the guy who did he did MacGyver, Richard Dean Anderson. They had a super soldier in that. It was like the late 90s. I'm like, were they trying to tell us then? Super soldier. So here we are. Would you mind? Let's discuss a bit about the space program, super soldier program, and then also the energy weapons, the frequency weapons, as well as what can be leveraged. Like Einstein said, you know, right here, future medicine will be the medicine of frequencies. And we know with Tesla, if you want to understand the universe, think of energy, frequency, and vibration. That's threes, 369 as well. When you have 369, you eventually have to zero, God source. God source comes back in and recreates everything at the source of creation and enlightenment. So now we're sitting here going, wow, if you have three, that's a trinity that Tesla's talking about. Frequency, it's finally been acknowledged. Directed energy weapons, they're leveraging right now in Iran. But fighting off planet, working in those capabilities where you would have superhuman strength, superhuman telekinetic powers. We haven't really got into that much, right? And then psychic capabilities, which Cryon in those chronicles Lee Carroll discussed, are actually within our strand, our helix of our DNA right now, for people to tap into those fields and see into the future, see into the past, remember their lives as well, and actually see into people's souls too.
Yeah, very good. And, you know, the super soldiers, it's probably going to take quite a long time before we really link up with them. The super soldiers are super, super advanced. The technologies that are out there are really, really advanced. It's going to take probably going to take decades and decades before, if they start now, which I think it's coming this year, the reveals and so forth. And then the free energy eventually comes out, and, you know, all the technologies that we're already seeing and with LifeWave and so forth are going to start to increase more and more. But with the super soldier program, when I was in that program, my memories of that program are that you have the ability to, you know, heal yourself to a certain extent, but extreme damage to the point of death, they're going to put you in a tank, like we've seen on Avatar. And that tank has the building blocks of life and, you know, building you and so forth. And there's electrical energy that's put in there. You're attached to electric energy. If you have body parts left, there could be times where you're completely blown apart into pieces, and they just get a piece of you. They have your DNA, have your DNA code, your 12-strand DNA code, so they can, you know, reformat you very quickly and make you better than you were before, because the advancements are constant, and the technology that goes into rebuilding a super soldier that's been damaged. You know, they keep upping the super soldiers as they're injured or they're wounded or killed. And your consciousness stays around for up to a month, and it will connect with the body. And that's something that I did on a once or twice, actually. So I have memories of being, you know, my head blasted open and losing this side of my whole head. And then they, you know, put me back together, put me in the tank, put me back together. And then you go through a process of, you know, psychologically, you know, while you're in the tank, actually, they, you know, they're communicating with you so you can overcome the trauma of that event. So PTSD, you know, is nothing. You don't experience PTSD as a super soldier. Your brain, it works perfectly. Your body, excuse me, works perfectly. There's nothing that interferes with that unless it's like you're blasted. So energy type of weapons are the things that, you know, you have to be concerned about. We have different body, you know, armaments and so forth, you know, shields. If you're going out to scout, you have a scout, you know, uniform, then that has, you know, shielding and invisibility products within it. And then if you're going into basically hardcore combat, you have heavy duty shielding that you're wearing. Some of this combat uniform has stuff. If you do get wounded, it will like, start to heal you and, stop you from bleeding, all kinds of crazy stuff. It's all automatic. So you get hit, you get massively wounded, and unless you're, incapacitated, you're basically back in it. You're back at it pretty quick.
That's like Halo. Remember that show?
Yeah.
Off game Halo. Wow.
Absolutely. And the SEAL Master Chief. Yeah. So that's perfect. There that a lot of that stuff is being, revealed, like Star Wars, Star Trek, and, some of these high-tech games and so forth, is a reveal of what's out there. And, the training that you go through to get to those levels, it's pretty impressive. Now we've heard of like, 20 and back. I've, been out there longer on some that I've done that in a couple iterations out there. Now, even in we think about space and all the things that happen in space, just in our oceans, there's a lot of unexplored areas, and the Super Soldier program is also in the oceans. So there's stuff that goes on there. A lot of the craft that you're seeing, like 95% of the craft, the UFO type craft that we're seeing, is from water. They're coming from bases in the water. So that's another thing that's going to be exposed. The underwater bases coming up. So that's many different things. It's the technologies, like we're saying, are very advanced. You're a Jedi. You're there for a decade or two. You're getting Jedi skills where you can start to communicate with your brain. In the Super Soldier program, you have those abilities, and you have to watch for other groups. And I don't know if I've talked about it with you, but there's like a stone man that is very capable of entering.
You did mention that.
You have to have a partner when you're working with them, because between the two of you, you have to you're one guy's using the mental stuff on them, and the other guy's getting hit, and then you blast them. So otherwise you're not going to get at them. You're not going to take them out. So the stone men are have those abilities on another level that we do. But we're constantly advancing. It's moving quite rapidly in the secret space program. There are negative groups within the secret space program, just like there's negative groups here on Earth. They're being overcome, just like the negative groups here on Earth are being overcome. Like the Nazis. The Nazis went into the super space program, and then of course the good guys. We started our own program as well. They were a little bit more advanced than we were, but we've caught up with them and actually surpassed them. And one of the reasons why is because of our advanced consciousness. So on the negative side, it doesn't advance for whatever reason. It doesn't advance as fast as those of us on the. They don't have the creativity and the ability to think outside the box and the kind of stuff that we do. So we're not just like we work with negative types here. I've worked with some pretty negative people over the years that I knew that were bad guys, but they're kind of like cloaked in a secret compartment type thing, but we're put together to accomplish something. So we work and we accomplish something, and they go do their thing. We go do our thing. So there is negativity within the secret space program, so being overcome as well. So lots of things in the future. Spacecraft that you fly with your mind. You have a connection with the spacecraft. Some spacecraft, some weapon systems won't work with you if you're of a negative intent. You have to be of a higher consciousness, higher intent. Otherwise, the weapon systems and the craft and so forth won't work with you. And that's good, because then the negative guys can't come in and use our stuff. So Pretty interesting how all that works. So again, the consciousness thing, like we've been talking about all along, is very, very important. It's a thread of life, and when you start to understand it on a deeper, more personal level, then you can tap it and start to use it. And we've had masters throughout time. Buddha, obviously, on a very, very high level. Jesus, on a very high level. So we've had many masters that have, been Jedis, pretty much on the earth plane. And then there's Jedis that were in Egyptian times, have past life memories of those times. And it's probably why they chose me for the secret space program.
Well,
more personal level, then you can tap it and start to use it. And we've had masters throughout time. Buddha, obviously, on a very, very high level. Jesus, on a very high level. So we've had many masters that have, been Jedis, pretty much on the earth plane. And then there's Jedis that were in Egyptian times, have past life memories of those times. And it's probably why they chose me for the secret space program.
Well, one of the things, incredible, Michael, just always incredible. And one of the things that is a recurring through line in what you're discussing here these last 20 minutes is intention and malevolence versus benevolent.
Yeah.
So we look at people who have a negative outlook on life. Those people don't tend to become centenarians in this world, right? They're not making the most healthiest choices, as well as people who have a negative outlook on something that might have happened to them. I just love this picture. That's why I'm keeping it up for an extra amount of time here, right? You kind of have that Iron Man space soldier suit and the wings of Archangel Michael here and the keys of creation, the truth and disclosure coming out. And then anybody who has been injured, somebody did a study on this, the similar amount of injuries that people have had, but if the placebo effect, right? Take this, you feel that you're going to heal a certain period of time versus not. And the ones who are negative and pissed off and whatnot, they don't heal. They have other problems. And those who do, they heal a lot faster. And we're talking about healing from true remedies that pharma might prescribe, right? But they have the intent that they're going to get better. And all about the intent that we've seen when you're tapping into the God mind in quantum consciousness, of which is all within us, because every cell, every DNA, we now know that the words you speak, which is why I showed this abracadabra image. Abracadabra in Hebrew is a phrase meaning I create what I speak. So words are energy and you use them wisely. And the fact is that thoughts are things. Bob Proctor, one of the great lessons I learned from him directly is thoughts are things and they can be measured. This is the 90s. This is before we had McDonald's with patents now that can beam commercials into people's heads while they sleep, because they can pick up on what your thoughts are and change them. But that's all done from a technological standpoint. That was published in 2024. Yes, McDonald's has patents to beam commercials into your head while you sleep, right? Fortunately, it looks like that program got shut down, which is really good for McRaunchies. Think about the flip side to that. Use it for the benevolent, and you create with your thoughts, which are things. Thoughts create actions, actions create feelings, create results. It might take a little bit of time to manifest it in the quantum and have the universe to bring it around, whether it's a financial success, whether it is becoming a master in unarmed combat, knife fighting, 0.3 seconds from the draw to an ocular plunge. Holy frick. I remember we met, you said you were about 0.3 seconds as well from the draw from the holster to putting 2 shots right in the head. I think it was 25 yards or 25 meters. I'm like, holy smokes. But that's the level people can get to. And where are you going with this, Brad? Well, the thing is that we all have a level of interconnectedness, but we also, the frequencies that are around us and the frequencies we leverage, water, food, clothing, the environment around us, the environment on our screens, what we put on our body or we might not have on our body, all of those things have a profound effect on the outcome of our life and also how we participate in this earth walk. What do you say, Mr. Intuitive Warrior?
Yeah, that's a very good lead into words. So words, fear is a very, very great negative. I used to read these books where it was like the gift of fear and all these different things, and I'm like, you don't go there at all. It's like fire is good because you're going to call the fire department, and they're going to come and save your house from burning. So that's what fear is. Yeah, it's not good. So fear has a negative connotation on your body. It starts to have a very negative impact on your cellular structure and so forth. And that's another good thing for the patches, basically up your cellular frequencies and so forth, because most of us are going to have some kind of negative thought. We're not trained to keep those out of our minds. For me, and when I was teaching the hand-hand program, we would tell guys, you can't go into that. And if you feel that fear, like something happens, you don't understand, a lot of people will go into that. They'll start to get tunnel vision. Their breathing will become shallow, and their muscles will start to tighten up. You want your muscles very loose and very fluid. You're not going to get that 0.3 stab or that 3 headshots in less than a second if you're in that fear state, or if you're feeling anything of a negative intent. So you have to let that go through you. I remember I did this when I was in SEAL training. I had a big problem with the cold. I was had probably about 3 or 4% body fat, and I grew up in Columbia, South Carolina. Only time I went in the water was in the summer, right? So, and here I am in the winter in the West Coast, California, where the Japan current runs down. It's always cold, even in summertime. It's cold. So here I'm in the winter. It's barely 50, maybe in the 40s, and they're putting us in the water. So for me, I was I'd get next to my buddies and we'd all be shaking. We'd keep each other warm. Well, the instructor staff has the ability to see who has weaknesses, right? As I can tell you, as I did the same thing when I came back. I saw people, oh, you need a little help with this. So they took me and put me in the water by myself. They said, Jaco, come over. So the class went off and they were doing something, and they put me in the water by myself, and somebody was watching me. And I got in, and I was because I wanted to be a SEAL years ago. I was I'm gonna push it again. I was going under waterfalls where it was ice was melting, water was coming down, the waterfalls. I'd stand under it. Yeah. I got in the water here. I'd push the ice away, and I got in the water, and I videoed it. So you can overcome these things, but you have to understand the things that keep you from advancing and reaching your full potential, or even sabotaging you. Mm-hmm. So fear is definitely one of those things. I talk about love is the opposite of fear. So you want to be in that love. So that love frequency allows you to stay in those alpha, theta brainwave states. So a combination of alpha, beta puts you into gamma, which is a really advanced level where you can do like the yogis can go outside while it's snowing, kind of like what I was doing, and it won't affect them. So you can reach these states of consciousness, but you have to be in a meditative state. So I try and live my life as I'm always in a meditation. That's the way I think. So like this conversation, I didn't know what we're going to talk about, but I'm always in a meditative state. I reach into the creative aspect and just pull it through and, bring out some good conversational pieces. But that's what everyone needs to focus on. The consciousness aspect, the love frequency vibrations, keeping your vibrational frequency high. will keep you, you won't get sick. You're not going to get as sick because a drop in frequency makes you vulnerable, makes you sick, or, you know, injury prone or whatever. So you have to keep your frequency high. And the way to do that is stay consciously in a very positive frame of mind, meditative, alpha brainwave state. It's like you're going to, you know, you have problems that come up during the day. You're going to be able to handle them very quickly, very easily. You're going to be the person that's sought out in your job, in your business, or whatever you're doing, because you have the ability to overcome great obstacles. That was one of the things that, you know, when I was in the SEAL teams, we would normally get impossible missions, and we prided ourselves of being able to, you know, do those impossible missions and come back, you know, safely and having accomplished them and everything. So that's what we all have the ability to do.
Yeah, the real impossible mission force, you guys, you know, tier 1 dev group, right? And a former super soldier at that working there. It's pretty amazing. You know, many of you might not be a SEAL Team 6 member, have went to a Navy SEALs or Special Forces, Special Operations, Force Recon. You have the paras as well, the Air Force. But I can tell you that these things well, just last year, I was fortunate to do some training with Laird Hamilton. He's the greatest big wave surfer of all time. And what does he do? And he, you know, everybody knows Laird Superfoods, right? And what does he do? Okay, well, he's about training in a pool with 50-pound weights, go down the bottom of the pool, you know, get yourself to the point in time where you can go back and forth, do 50 meters on one breath hold. And then you come out of the pool and you do 3-minute cold plunge, go into a hot sauna, come back out, do another 3-4-minute cold plunge, all ice. This is ice bath cold plunge, right? And you're going in and out and you're doing these things. And of course, I'm a certified ice diver, and did all of that with scuba, because at that time we're going to head up to the Arctic and actually do diving around icebergs. So you had to take that scuba certification with your dry suit training. And I'm like, okay, no dry suit, no wool, here we go. Just board shorts and getting this done. And you can do that when you get into that state. And I'm very fortunate to practice transcendental meditation from the Maharishi. Everybody knows the Maharishi effect. Since 2011. So on average, I'm doing that twice a day, 20 minutes, morning wake up, you know, and then about a 20-minute reset middle afternoon to bring things down. Make sure your cortisol is down, as you mentioned, Michael, you've got effects of your words. So, you know, if people are in a fear state, well, then all of a sudden your cortisol stress hormone goes up. That stress hormone goes up. It immediately, with its inverse relationship, drops melatonin, serotonin, right? Dopamine production, DMHT that we make automatically as well. So we need assistance in that because we are bombarded with frequencies. We're bombarded with stress and stimuli and social media and news and everything, right? And you have to anchor and ground and do things to get you to that level. And another thing I did to push myself was the free dive training.
Yeah, wow.
Went out and did the open water free dive, Molchanov. Okay, you know, you can get to 60 feet. Do the advanced free diving in a cenote where, you know, if you're 10 feet from where you saw that video, we've shared it before. I don't have the clip up right now. But, you know, if you go another 10 feet in the cenote in Mexico there you go underneath Mexico. That's actually ocean water current that's flying underneath that fresh water in that cenote. Wow. So don't let go of the rope and don't go down too far with the weight belt, but down to 92 feet on one breath, right? You take your breath. You have to get into that alpha state, calm yourself, envision the success, feel it, have a relationship, body, mind, and spirit, that beautiful holy trinity. And I actually was wearing Aeon patches for that. So that truly did help as well. When I did that training and you're like, all right, you came out of the cannon. And in 1 month you went and did your open water. And the next month you went and did this. And to me, I was just blown away. You go down a 10-story building and come back up and you do it multiple times in order to pass the course, right? 92 is my largest. I think it was typically around 80 where I was going to. And it was incredible because you also have 4 fathoms of pressure on you. And there was a moment in time, Michael and I shared it on a video. I'll make sure I have it keyed up maybe for our next show next month, is I got down to the bottom of the cenote, and you have the light in the water completely changes, and there's a massive cavern in the cenote, and you can see into the caves, and it's absolutely stunning and beautiful because there were stalactites and stalagmites, the opposite of them, like the teeth. Gorgeous, gorgeous. So you go down and you turn around and you go looking around like this, and you have 4 times the pressure of gravity on your lungs, which are constricted with the one breath you have. And I lost half of my breath that I was holding. And at that moment, you could panic, and literally had that immediate fear spike of like, holy shit, you have to go up 92 feet to get a breath. And it's just you hanging on a rope by yourself. And you have to immediately come back into that, make that choice of getting back to calm. And that's all on video, and everybody sees my eyes go wide for a second. I'm like, nothing I can do about this. Okay, bring it back down, heart rate's back down, and off you go. And
Nice.
all of this capability, thank you. And all of this capability is available for all of us, right? And having somebody to take you through those steps, train you in that way, maybe you're not going to go free diving, handhold you, try an Aeon patch, try an X39, work on that, see the effects, being able to call people, asking for assistance who are there for you was really key. And, Brad, going off on a little bit of a tangent here, I guess, the key thing for me with all of this, because I grew up watching Star Trek, not a Star Trek guy, like a Trekkie dressing up for Halloween. But when I saw, thanks to the gift you and Tracy Joe gave to me with these patches and Robin, and I had I call it a healing miracle experience on massive amounts of pain, of discomfort. Have to watch ourselves here. Massive amounts of discomfort for a shoulder for years and years and years. That was a 9 out of 10 on discomfort at times. And I put the patches on, and it went to a 1 out of 10 of discomfort. And a few minutes later, it was completely gone. And that was even with traditional Chinese medicine. That was with acupuncture. My shoulder had never recovered with anything until these patches. So we know what we're tapping into, the quantum, when we're activating the God molecule, which everybody can see with this award. And that's why I have been calling this Star Trek-like technology, because anybody who has seen Star Trek, or now people who have watched The Mandalorian, where he gets all beat up in his super soldier suit and he has combat injuries and he lays in a bed, and then frequency happens, and like Avatar, the water comes in and then it takes care of things again. This is what I see. In our last show, Michael said, yeah, I believe that if there was a company that could actually bring med beds to be disclosed to the public, it would likely be this one.
Yeah.
And I'm going to show this video of William Shatner, Captain Kirk himself, because at 94 years old, William Shatner, stands by this company. It always gets a lot of laughs.
It's great.
It's so brilliant. And by the way, everybody, this is the headquarters of LifeWave, inspired by Star Trek, designed by the designer of all of the Star Trek sets, ships, and suits since the inception of the series. Here we go. Enjoy.
I've lived a long life. I've done a lot of things, but I've never been an intern.
I'm the founder, sure, but I'm also an inventor. My latest experiment? Hire William Shatner. But as an intern. No way I can afford that guy full-time.
Hi, I'm Alicia. I'm going to be your trainer for today.
Hi, Alicia. Hi, Alicia.
William Shatner?
Yeah, well, you can call me Bill. Or intern. Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's just fine. Today I'm going to be taking you on a tour of our Welcome Center.
I hear they have something like a captain's bridge in the Welcome Center. Feels like you're traveling through space.
I have an award-winning production designer
This I gotta see.
for decades. And hey, Bill.
No, please, no sci-fi today. I'm just here as an intern. That's it. I just beamed in. Yeah, I know that look. I get that look whenever I sneak around, and you're sneaking. Go away. I'm busy. Jackpot. You didn't see a thing. People gotta see this.
Bill, who let you in here?
He let me in here.
Bill? Captain?
Oh, you gotta get out here. The old intern who looks an awful lot like me, he's messing things up.
But wait, aren't you?
Yeah, it's a sci-fi thing. Come on.
Oh, excuse me. David, was that? Is that in budget?
Oh,
There you are. Come on. Back to the group.
people gotta see this.
I know. It's a part of the tour.
Oh,
Yeah.
are you ready for me? Doug. Bill? Doug? Bill. Doug. Bill. For goodness.
You know Doug
Do I know Doug? Star Trek designer on props and sets and the spaceships and this?
Came out beautifully, huh?
Oh, Doug is...
Hey, Bill.
Oh,
One of your clones said you're causing trouble.
you're taking the word of a clone?
Personally, I always go with the original.
That's a good idea.
I have a question. Are you really going to be an intern here?
But, yeah, why not? But first, I gotta tell you about the Welcome Center here at the LifeWave offices.
Okay, this is a commercial. Got it.
No. It's a kinda soft sell. No, just a simple suggestion, really. Copy this QR code to learn about LifeWave, its products, and their amazing welcome center, and that's it. I had a great time experiencing their amazing life-changing technology and learning about the opportunities surrounding one of the fastest-growing companies on the planet, and you will too. So check them out, and just tell them Bill sent you, the real Bill, not that sci-fi clone. Oh, okay. Hey, duty calls. Back to interning. Bye-bye.
Oh, amazing.
That never gets old. I love that every time I see it. That's good.
It is amazing. And I hope one day very soon I'll be able to join everybody at the Welcome Center. You've been there a couple of times, right?
Yeah, several times. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Everybody
Design after Star Trek, and everybody, in a few moments too, we'll show you the video of the actual inventor, David Schmidt, whose nickname was Spock in college, who looked up full-on Trekkie himself, yet this company was inspired by what he watched on Star Trek. So thinking about, once again, tapping in your quantum consciousness, setting an intention, walking a path, right, of a benevolent path, and going, wow, I would love to do something like Star Trek I see on Star Trek, and now has over 200 patents to his name, which puts him in this realm of this guy, Nikola Tesla, right? Edison's as well. And this guy too, for having, and right now living as one of America, probably the most prolific inventor in America, David Schmidt. Incredible.
Amazing man. Yeah, I've met him, done shows with him, hung out with him. Really down to earth, very intelligent guy, and really cares about humanity on an incredible level. So
Yep.
We're very lucky in LifeWave to be involved with them.
Yeah, we certainly are. And I've got a couple of people here who have written into Rumble their own benevolent experiences with wearing these patches, because everybody can hear it from Michael and I and the bunch of stories that we've had, which, again, this was a game changer for me. I call it a freaking second lease on life, because it is. You know, Michael, you've talked about your shattered kneel cap and the SEAL teams and healing that, but still having problems with it. And the patches, no more problem. Same thing with me, right? Told by Tiger Woods and Lindsey Vonn's doctor, he rebuilt Tiger's spine, rebuilt 2 of Lindsay's knees, probably doing her shin right now because of what happened in the Olympics last month. And that guy said, you know, you're going to get me because it is. You know, Michael, you've talked about your shattered kneel cap and the SEAL teams and healing that, but still having problems with it. And the patches, no more problem. Same thing with me, right? Told by Tiger Woods and Lindsey Vonn's doctor, he rebuilt Tiger's spine, rebuilt 2 of Lindsay's knees, probably doing her shin right now because of what happened in the Olympics last month. And that guy said, you know, you're going to get maybe 70% of your capacity in life back. Well, okay, you know, I went through the natural healing process and then I got these patches. And here's a video of me just a week and a half ago skiing at a level that I had not achieved 10 years ago, actually 11 years ago now, when that doctor said that. Here it is, live from me to you guys, first time airing. Of big mountain skiing in the Rockies Second Resort. And yesterday I had, for the first time ever in my history, wore 2 X39s, a 49 and a glutathione patch, and it's well worth it. I was training for a month to do this trip, running 10 kilometers a day, but there's still no workout like a powder one. Absolutely amazing. Thanks to LifeWave. And every morning, and so here we are, right? Just to keep it quick and to the point. And that is 10 days of freaking big mountain skiing. And people who've known me before all this stuff happened, you know, my ex-wife, her and I, when we lived in Vail, Colorado, she was junior world champion alpine skier for category, invited to Team Canada alpine skier. If she'd went down that path, you know, she would have been in the Olympics, but, you know, she chose to go into and get her PhD in sports psychology instead. So I was literally skiing with a world championship skier. And here I am, snowmobiling was my first favorite sport. I was on the ski team in high school, and that was my second. And I'm doing it at a level where I'm going at 7,700 feet all the way to the bottom, run after run, run after run. And that one was taken on the 10th day, by the way, everybody, where we started at 9:30 in the morning and finished when the lift stopped turning and the gondolas finished at 3:30 p.m. And that's the level. And I had never been at that level before in my life, Michael.
That's
and
incredible.
I've done sprint triathlons. I've done those races and whatnot, but I have never been at the level where my body is right now. And it is from the nutrition and 100% these patches.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Good story. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, thanks. All right, everybody. So I'm going to show the David video here because, you know, the links are below here if you're watching this broadcast or you're listening to the podcast later on the Apple platforms or Spotify, iHeartRadio, etc. And the key thing is that, you know, Michael and I are a team. We have many people on our team, and we're not here to leave any soul behind. To us, this is a conscious mission. For me, my soul's purpose the last 11 years is to uplift the consciousness of mankind through song and story. And this is a story, and this is the universal song, the harmonics of the universe in frequency in these patches, because that's exactly what they are. So the best thing you can hear, everyone, is watch and see, in his own words, the founder of the company with these 200 patents tell you exactly in his own words why, what has happened before, and where we're going, and why Michael and I 100% believe that this just might be the company to bring out the med beds, but it will be the #1 company for wellness, technology, and free energy for consumers in the world these next 20 years. Here it is, 2 minutes.
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. There is more information there than most people would ever realize. I was 8 years old, and my parents wanted to take me to the workshop of Thomas Edison. On the drive back home, I said to my dad, I want to be an inventor. Light, as it turns out, is the primary control mechanism for everything else that happens in the body. What if we could have an external electromagnetic field that would essentially reset the stem cells that are already in our bodies and get them to function like younger, healthier cells? What if in the process, we actually found out that in a book that was written thousands of years ago, that information already existed? God has left his fingerprint in natural codes. There's this enormous sense of hope that we can create technology to generate clean energy, that we can have foods that aren't genetically modified, and we can meet all of the needs on the planet that we have to, and that we can heal people.
Not too bad. Not too bad. Right from him, the mouth of Babe himself, right?
That's amazing. And he talked about infusing, light into different things, and that's what he's done with the water machine, which should be available next month. We're hoping. I've been using the water machine for quite some time now. The results are stupendous. Everyone that's used the water machine, stupendous results. So he's talking about foods. There was, I think at not the last conference, but the conference before, he had infused brandy with light. And it was like, we all got to get a shot of it, and it was like unbelievable. So any food could be, infused with light, refined and so forth. We got a lot of, crazy foods that are out there, good quality foods, and, infused with light. It's just, we're going to go to another level. There won't be any sickness. There won't be any death, going forward. It's going to be incredible.
Yeah, it'd be like a yogi. You get to choose when you exit your body at this time. Yeah.
What age you are.
Yeah. Yeah, incredible. I'm planning for 220, and that's a real deal. And I've said that for years.
That's the way it is in the space program. You stay whatever age you want, 35. That's it.
Wow. Amazing. Yeah. Amazing. This is what we're talking about if nobody has seen it yet. The X39 is the size of a quarter, thin as a few hairs, got a nice little adhesive. Think of sticker. I call them stickers, right? These are stickers of light. You put them on anywhere in your body. And just like it says in the Biotech Stem Cell Innovation of the Year Award for that X39 sticker, I'm holding a sleeve of them. You get 30 every month. That plus Celergize AM, which is a supplement everybody put in their water in the morning. That's what you might have seen me drinking on the show as well too. For hydration, works with these patches to do incredible things in activating your God molecules, all the copper peptides, GHKCU in your body, which has a supply chain reaction, if everybody thinks about this, in activating a third of your genome. That's what happens when you activate copper peptides as well. And these things are less than the price of a Starbucks coffee a day, 100%. And with Michael and I, and the link we have below here, you can get it for 30% off, ships anywhere in the world, over 80 countries right now, ships from every major continent. There's warehouses and offices in every major continent. We've had people in Australia. I've got people in the chat in Australia now. So hello to them over on Rumble. It's awesome. Our Aussie family and our Kiwis and the Tassie. I met a Tassie again last week. And I'm like, are you a Tassie? And he's like, yeah, how'd you know, mate? And I'm like, because you are the wind-up devil, but in a positive way. I love that guy's energy. So we love all these people, right? And you go anywhere in the world. And by the way, here's just a few people what they put into the Rumble chat about this, right? So Karabuko, who's on our Team Buddha, you go to the link, catchlifeweight.com, the promo, 30% off, 100% money back guarantee. So you literally have nothing to lose by making a purchase just even on X39 at that discount, less than the price of a Starbucks a day, okay? She says,
Wow.
I canceled all my subscriptions to make this happen. X39 and others. Aeon, Wary Human comes in and says, that sounds amazing, Brad. Karabuko says, yes, the support is wonderful. The question, Tina Ray Dory says, hi, Karabuko, what has the patch done for you? This is in the Rumble chat, right, from our last show. Karabuko says, I was prone to strokes, had 2 already, and now free of that. My cognitive skills have improved massively. No more allergies. And the question, Tina Ray Dory says, hi, Karabuko, what has the patch done for you? This is in the Rumble chat, right, from our last show. Karabuko says, I was prone to strokes, had 2 already, and now free of that. My cognitive skills have improved massively. No more allergies. And the list goes on. And Tina Ray Dory says, okay, thank you for sharing. God bless. And by the way, you know, this is their result. This isn't everybody's result. We're not medical practitioners. We're just sharing with you what people are putting in the chat. Here's TX Gracie. He says, I love mine. I'm sleeping for the first time in years. So there it is. And then Lara Lovely says, I put my first X39 on today and completed an almost 2-mile walk at 5 p.m. I'm in Florida. It's 100 degrees here. So almost 2-mile walk at 5 p.m. I'm in Florida. It's 100 degrees here. So yeah, some people might not be drawing a pistol and 0.3 seconds from the holster, putting, you know, three shots center master in the target, or doing it with a knife. You know, they're just happy to walk 5 miles in 100 degrees at 5 p.m.
Impressive to me.
39. Yeah. Amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah. So you're seeing a lot of people getting results, and it's the frequency, the same thing. Just like all these things are given to you, and up your frequencies, and, you know, reactivate your stem cells and so forth, which have been, you know, turned, and up your frequencies, and, you know, reactivate your stem cells and so forth, which have been, you know, turned off over time. So you're seeing a reversal of the aging process. I see everybody that's on our team. Everybody's looking fantastic. You know, overcoming all kinds of difficulties, not having difficulties that the people have, getting off of medications they've been on for years. They're so happy to be involved with this company. It's amazing. Yeah. And with you, Brad. So you're amazing too.
You too. Yeah. Amazing. It's incredible. I read books about Michael. This is another crazy cool path. I read books that Michael was in, thanks to Commander Dick Marchenko, who was on his board to choose him to come into SEAL Team 6. And here I am doing shows with him, friends with him and his wife, Tracy Joe. We've had trips together. It's incredible, right, how the universe works. And here, by the way, you're seeing on the screen is Salvatore Toscano in the chat on Rumble. Comments that I started using the X49 patches. I'm feeling superhuman. So it sounds like Salvatore is getting to be a X49 patches. I'm feeling superhuman. So it sounds like Salvatore is getting to be a super soldier. Just from patches. Yeah.
Welcome to the team.
Yeah, it's freaking awesome. We have such a blessed team, everybody, by the way. So when you join us, you place your order. In a few days, you'll get a letter from me. It's a letter from me to you. Explains everything. You have phone numbers. You have the Zoom meetings. We have a countdown. Then we send you a reminder email. You can come on to the Zoom meetings, private ones, public ones, your choice, you know, and talk, connect. Again, our mission, we just had a private meeting right before coming on here. Michael, what's the mission at now for the amount of souls that we're here to help on the planet? In this
1
team?
billion. We want to help at least 1 billion. I think we're going to help a lot more than that, but that's the goal right now.
Yeah. So we put out the clarion call. We're here to help 1 billion souls in all levels across the board. And we also have what's coming from this company. Michael kind of teased it out a little bit about the water machine, which is actually liquid light, where there's 20 patents that have been issued or pending on them right now, but also free energy devices for the home. That's about 2 years away from to lead the world into becoming a Star Trek Type 1 spacefaring civilization. Ultimate free thinker. Just put this one in. I'll leave it up with this last testimonial from people posting on Rumble. It says, my scars are dramatically improving. I'm sleeping better than ever. And I've only been on X39 for 4 months. So I'll turn it over to you, Michael, to comment on this scars improvement, sleeping better, and only 4 months. And we'll on this scars improvement, sleeping better, and only 4 months. And we'll wrap up the show with everybody here.
Yeah, the sleeping better, you're going into the alpha brainwave pattern. And that's where the healing is. If you don't go in the alpha brainwave pattern, you don't heal. Pretty much that's the way it works. So these patches are basically helping you move into that consciousness frequency that we've been talking about the whole show, and allowing you to heal and raise your consciousness. We've had a lot of people that have, had really bad, experiences in their life, and the Eon basically helps recenter the frequencies of the brain, gets the neurons, firing correctly and so forth. A lot of people have had incredible experiences with that patch, and it reduces the swelling. A lot of the inflammation, causes diseases and so forth. So these patches are basically not only a preventative, but also will raise you to higher levels of performance, not only physically but mentally. And that's one of the things that I like. So the scars, reducing the scars, a lot of people have reported that. I've had scar reduction in some areas of my body. So it is definitely doing that, which is like, who would have thought that would be something that you'd get a benefit from? But it's there. A lot of people are having it, and increase better eyesight and physical attributes and so forth. Like we're hearing, we're getting the super soldiers out the honest now. So it's fantastic. I'm very happy. I love to see those results that people are having. It's fantastic. We talk about this on our Miracle Monday show, and we have a Sunday night doc talk, and a lot of people are hearing, how people are having incredible experiences. So looking forward to seeing more of you out there. Hope more of you get motivated. Probably some of you, this is the way it usually works. You've seen these shows several times, and now you're going to make the decision to get involved, and we look forward to working with you.
Yeah, amazing. And Katie here in the chat on YouTube said it helped us to conceive. So there was a lot of Rumble screenshots of testimonials that I showed, and this is live as well on YouTube right now. So fantastic to hear. Katie, well done for you and your partner and this little soul that you're bringing into the world in this ascension time frame. Michael and Tracy Joe in the background, I'm so honored for what you do for the world and how you do what you do, because you take yourself from a state of eminence and you involve everybody else in that frequency. You broadcast it out and you help lift everybody else up in the world. And so that 1 billion objective to help those souls in this world, I see this as having been done, and so it is. And thanks as having been done, and so it is. And thank you once again very much for Michael, your service, Tracy Joe, your service, your friendship, your love, your support, and your leadership on our team. And we look forward to all of you coming aboard. We look forward to seeing all of you on a Zoom. Maybe it's Sunday night coming up as well. Maybe it's a private one or a public one. But you have an ability to reach out and talk to every single one of us and other members in our team when you get involved. And again, there's 100% money back, no questions asked guarantee, because we can see that we are being the light workers and the light keepers of this new frequency in this new earth.